Hello, hello, hello. We are here. We are live. It is 4 days till Halloween, 5 days till Halloween, 6 days. 5 day. Wait, how many days till Halloween? 5 days? Are you guys excited for Halloween?
Yes.
Well, I work.
Hey to Doolin, Death Descents, Biohazard, Zegan. How are you guys doing today? It's normally we do the first. What's happening?
I said we got a couple of first timers here.
Yeah, a couple of first timers, and this is I think a pizza emoji, so I appreciate that. I think it is like a whole piece of a whole pie.
I have groceries, but I'd kind of now rather throw them in the garbage and get pizza.
Oh my god. That's just part of getting older, right? You buy groceries to throw them away, like in a couple days.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts.
I've just been eating out a lot because normally I meal plan and I pretty much cook Monday through Friday and then go out on the weekends. But man, we're gonna be talking about it soon. But I've been doing a lot of work and it's been taking up a lot of my weeknights. So I've been Uber eating and like getting takeout and going out. But yeah, Javi said he's stoked for Halloween.
Yes.
Officer Javi, Officer Suave,
Officer Javi.
Officer Garza. That sounds
Yes.
really official. I feel like I've met an Officer Garza before. Wait, isn't that the guy's name from Breaking Bad? The character, the cop with Hank's partner? Garza.
Oh,
I don't know, probably.
I think so.
I don't know, but Javi to me, he looks like, I feel like it's a character, he looks like a character in like an Adult Swim cartoon. I feel like I've seen, there's some, like, it's like an adult, like, comic cartoon.
like a 15-minute just
Like somebody, yeah, like somebody from Archer. Do you guys want to see
Something.
Hey, Jordan, come show everybody your mustache. So
Oh, I've seen it.
okay, so
pretty
I mean, if you
impressive.
guys
Solid
follow
on
me
picture.
on Instagram, find me. I'm Teresa Jean on Instagram. I've been posting about we just went on vacation to Vegas. We went to this awesome fucking festival, and all around Las Vegas, people kept stopping my husband and complimenting his mustache in very sincere, like, I love your mustache. And then they would just walk away. Like, they would be like so serious about it. So I want you guys to see the glory that is Jordan's mustache right now.
That's a nice mustache.
I
You're
mean,
like,
do you have it
Jordan-
curled up right now?
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He's been having it like curled up on the edges, so he's very giving
guys,
circus strongman vibes.
Jordan makes me want to shave mine off tonight.
No,
Guys
yours
have to
actually looks good. Yours does look good, but that gave me like, oh, he's going for like the cop vibe with the mustache and the soul patch. It looks great. I dig it. I dig the mustache. But that just kind of reminded me of like,
you guys need to move to Nashville now, and Jordan needs to quit his job and like work at one of the like fancy bars in East Nashville with his mustache.
so here's us in Vegas at this giant with his mustache. So it basically is him. This is an old Vegas sign. So there's this place that you can go to, and it was incredibly amazing, educational, like beautiful artwork and everything. It's called a Neon Museum, and there's a neon boneyard with all these old Vegas signs that are no longer working in commission because the places have been demolished, they've been rebranded or whatever, and they kind of preserve the art that's in these old neon signs. So that's where we were at that picture, and that old Vegas guy, I don't know, just the perfect mustache. It just went.
Dolan's saying you look like the guy from Super Troopers Hobby, and I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, and Biohazard asked if I won any money. Unfortunately, I did not. But the friends that we were with did. They actually hit kind of a big jackpot. So it was pretty awesome. Helped them, pay for the trip, and they had extra money, and it was kind of cool.
So it's a bummer about Saturday, but I do enjoy that it initiated some memes. People were like drawing artwork of emos raging and looting Vegas.
That did not happen from, but it's funny. People were the mood on Saturday was like a bummer.
Probably looks like a Cure music video where they're all out there just like.
I mean, people were literally.
Years like.
Yeah. So let me just first say, like, we were privileged, blessed, worked really hard to go to this festival, right? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to go to Vegas. It's a lot of money to buy those tickets. Like, everybody knows this. And people really like moved heaven and earth to be able to go. So for anyone who had a Saturday ticket, I really sympathize with them. And, you know, luckily, for whatever reason, we actually initially tried to buy Saturday tickets, but because it sold out so quickly, they added a day and we got Sunday tickets without even trying. And then there's next weekend as well that it's happening. So it was just this crazy thing where we could have almost been one of those people who didn't get to go. And I don't know how I would have felt. I mean, I've been to Vegas before. I love it there. I think we would have enjoyed ourselves anyway. I did have some friends that had Saturday tickets, and that was basically the gist. They were just like, well, what are you going to do? Because if you were there, you would know it was way too windy to actually have that festival. There was literally like, everybody thought it was foggy outside, but it was dust. Like, you couldn't see the mountains, which if you've been to Vegas, you can usually always see in the distance and see the mountains. It was dusty. It was just gray, brown air everywhere. And the wind was just like whipping. And they had no choice but to cancel. It was like the police or something that shut them down. And the day that we went, it was actually kind of windy. And I was looking at the stage setup, which has these like, I don't know what they're called, trusses with like the lighting on it. They were literally like going like this. And this is only in like, I don't know, 20-mile-an-hour winds. And on Saturday, the wind was like 30 to 40 miles an hour. There were gusts of up to 60. I couldn't even imagine if one of those set pieces, one of those things of lights, those are hundreds of pounds, could have fallen on an artist. It could have destroyed the set. It could have fallen on a person, because it was crazy. Like, it was scary. They were like back and forth even on our day, and the wind was way worse on Saturday. The problem was that they canceled it. People were in line already. They were ready. It was like 10 in the morning, 11 in the morning when it was supposed to open, and people were like, are you kidding me? What do I do now? Because at that point it wasn't that windy. Later in the day though, the forecast, they didn't have a choice. And having been there, I can just definitely guarantee you it was like fucking crazy. It was bad. It was just bad. And everyone was like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be this bad. And even me and my husband have like respiratory like issues because we were actually still kind of out and about that day and just breathing in all this dust. And I mean, it sucks. It sucks that had to happen. And honestly, like, we came down, I woke up that morning and I got an alert on my phone that it was canceled because I had the app, and I was like, I shot up in bed. I was like, holy fuck, they canceled it today. Like, not even crazy, not even in the realm of possibility. And I was just like, holy fuck, all those people who had tickets, they're going to be so mad. And every single it was awesome. The atmosphere was really cool in Vegas. Every single hotel was like full of people going to the festival. Just, there was emos everywhere, and it was glorious. And we came down the elevator. We were in the elevator with people who got canceled on. Everyone was talking about it. It was in the air. It was in the atmosphere. It was all over the internet. It was in the groups. It was in the chats. It was on the Reddit and all of that. So the mood was just like somber. And it was supposed to be like this kick-ass weekend for all these people. And the mood was just like, but a lot of the bands ended up playing pop-up shows for free. And, you know, all over Vegas, there was tons of the bands, you know, not really the major ones, but All American Rejects did a show. Hawthorne Heights did a show, a couple other bands. And, you know, that made it a lot better. And then like all these bars, Fremont Street, everybody was just blaring. Every DJ was like blaring emo, playing My Chem and Blink and Paramore, and just like being like, yeah, we get it, this sucks, but we're still going to make this like a fun experience for you guys, because what are you going to do? You can't go the next day or the next weekend. Those dates are also sold out. So all those people just got refunds, which is also really cool of them to do. But yeah, there's a lot of really upset people. But
Was it kind of the same lineup each day, or were bands playing different days?
it was the same lineup every day,
Oh, okay.
and like
Well,
the same schedule. So yeah.
it still sucks for the people who can't see them, but then I guess that's better for the bands, because then it's not like, oh, the band lost their opportunity to play or something. They're still getting to.
And nobody could have foreseen it, right? It's a
Right.
weather thing. Like if there had been a, downpour, because that does happen out in the desert as well, I don't think as many people would have been mad if it had been like a rainstorm and flooding versus like just the wind. Because I feel like if you weren't there to actually step outside and feel how powerful the wind was and see how dusty it was, to understand like why they really didn't have a choice.
Oh, I've been in a sandstorm, and yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you gotta basically hunker down and just not go outside or do anything. Avenger, thanks so much for liking all our songs.
Yeah.
Especially Etc. That's my favorite. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks here. Avril Lavigne.
It was awesome. She was great. I'm so thankful that I got to see her. And gosh, okay, so
highlight bands, like what were the ones
let me talk about that. The whole festival was like one of the best days of my whole life. And it's hard because I know that a lot of people were disappointed about the Saturday day, so it was almost like the rest of us felt like we weren't like allowed to have fun and enjoy it, but it was seriously like the best. It was like going to Warped Tour as an adult with more money and more like it was a huge festival grounds, and it was set up really well. And I was lucky enough to have GA Plus, which was like a special area. We had our own bathrooms, our own bars, our own little like picnic table area. So like whenever we needed like a refresher, we had somewhere to go. The general admission area was definitely like chaos. There wasn't enough food venues. There should have been more, because they had like hundreds of bars, and like nobody was even in line for the alcohol, because on an all-day festival you can't really be like raging. But
people do, and you tap out. Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna blast Tommy in here, but I'm gonna blast him when we do Georgia. We do Helen, Georgia, the Oktoberfest. It's all day, and it's every bar, and they've got these giant mugs, and you go around and you pay a price and get beer. When I did it with Tommy, I was trying to pace myself, but he's going hard. So by like 1:00, he's just smashed, and we go back to the place, and he just passes out and falls asleep for the rest of the day. And we went back out. We went to different places, went dancing at that night, and did different things. And he wakes up the next morning, and it's just like, dude. So yeah, at a fest you can rage, but you're probably gonna miss Avril Lavigne if you go too hard too soon.
Yeah. God, we actually ended up getting to see so many more bands than I thought. I had my whole day planned. I've never been to a festival this big. I mean, it was literally like Rock in Rio status. I think there was like 60,000 people there. It was the biggest festival that I've personally ever been to. So like Warped Tour times 10, honestly. Way, way more people than you would see at a Warped Tour. Way more bands and stuff like that.
Bands too,
yeah, huge bands.
A lot of those bands, started out playing Warped Tour, but once you hit a certain level, like My Chemical Romance level, you don't play with Warped Tour anymore.
Right. So so we got to see a lot more bands than I thought we were gonna see, and we started with Seosin, or Seoshin, which I guess is like how you're supposed to say it. Somebody correct me in the comments if you're a huge Seoshin fan. I've seen them before, but not with Anthony Green. That was a big deal to see him there. So we started with them, and then we actually got to catch Anne Berlin, which was kind of on our B list because we've seen them a bunch before. they were actually like so flawless. Their set was awesome. And every band was like super humble and gracious to just be playing. Obviously they knew that they all got canceled on Saturday, and they're like, and to them, a lot of them, this is the hugest thing that they've ever played. So to be on this lineup with so many amazing bands, a lot of them that are friends, they've been all bands for 20 years. It's the nostalgia of it all. Like, it was just like a magical day. And so they were really good. We saw Jimmy Eat World, The Used. Jimmy was probably like my favorite band of the whole day because I've never seen them. And it was like absolutely flawless. Sounded just like the record. Again, like just the knowledge and the wisdom that these bands have from being around for 20 plus years. What in between the songs when they were talking about like how long they've been a band and how much this means to them and how they're so grateful to have been able to do this for so, it was just like this awesome feeling. And everyone who was there, like the people, like the fans, everybody seemed really just happy to be there as well. So Jimmy, The Used, Alkaline Trio, awesome set. It actually was freezing though, so that was a problem. Nobody brought enough cold weather clothing, and it was literally like in the 40s. Everyone was freezing. Let's see. I mean, obviously, and we saw Paramore and My Chemical Romance. We ended up leaving a little early because there were so many people that were going to be leaving at the same time. We were just like, we got to get out of here. Paramore was absolutely phenomenal. The vocals were on point, just amazing set. I got to see Census Fail. We got to hear 303. We weren't like up in the crowd for them, but like you could hear this one stage was like right next to our little area. So A Day to Remember played that acoustic song, and it was like not a dry fucking eye, man. Like people were like on people's shoulders, cell phone lights everywhere, just a sea of people. Fucking just so cool. Story of the Year, Dashboard Confessional, AFI played, Bayside played, Avril. Yeah, it was fucking nuts.
That's crazy.
Pretty epic.
Yeah.
The appreciative sentiment. I feel like I experienced that a little bit when I went with my sister in California to see Norma Jean and Emery and then Aaron Sprinkle or whatever from, not Aaron Sprinkle, that's the producer, Aaron the Gillespie or whatever. He was there doing an acoustic set. So yeah, a lot of old emos, and they were kind of like at the show just being like, no, I can't believe you guys are here still singing our songs. And he's like,
yeah,
especially a band like, because Norma Jean's kind of stuck around a little bit, but Emery, they kind of like disappeared, you know, and they're just sort of like
Emery was missing from this lineup. I don't know if they're playing next year, but they were definitely missing. And a lot of people thought, so next weekend, I guess Avril Lavigne had to pull out, and they are instead, Under Oath is going to be there. And I'm just like, yep, nobody's mad about it. They were missing from the lineup. Like that was one of the bands, and next year's lineup is like insane. And if you guys can all get tickets, you should definitely go, and we'll all party. It's going to be so fucking cool. Next year's lineup is even more insane. Good Charlotte, Blink, Green Day, Offspring, something corporate, like Movie Life. Somebody else crazy is playing, and we were just like, holy hell. Yeah.
You know what that sounds like? It almost seems like, not that this was a bad year at all, but it almost makes it seem like this year was sort of a test run. Let's see if that generation of fans is interested at all. Because, yeah, you had the My Chemical Romance and the Avril, like, sort of headliners, but the rest of the day, those bands were bands that were, like, not on the radio. Like, you had to be in the scene to, like, really care. And then now you naming next year's lineup, like, all those bands you mentioned are, like, huge, heavy hitter, like...
Yeah.
Radio,
like on the radio. Yeah, it's like a lot of the other ones were like niche emo, like when that was big, like 2002 they were all on the radio, and all of that. So somebody mentioned Paramore's new song. I haven't actually listened to it until I was there, and I was fucking dancing my ass off. It was a bop, like that This Is Why song. I haven't listened to it since the festival, but when I was there, I was grooving. I thought it was fucking awesome. I think they've evolved in a really cool way, and worked really hard. And, you know, they're going on, they're going on 20 years. I think they debuted in like 2005. Yeah. Avril's been around for 20 years. It was so cute. She did like a duet with Maud's son. And she played Skater Boy as the closer. Girlfriend was the opener. Like, everyone was just wildin'. Like, I think it just this year went to show people like this kind of a scene. Like, I did kind of feel like this is our, like, these are our Def Leppard. This is our, you know, AC/DC, Alice in Chains, because they're still playing festivals. And it's all those people who are like, this is my formative music. Like our parents, right?
Right.
And,
well, that brings me to Doolin here talking about, like, you know, Where's the Bush, Pumpkins, Beck. Doolin, those are like 90s bands. And like some of them, like Pumpkins came out in the 80s. So this
was like early 2000s.
This is like early 2000s and on. Like, this is a younger generation of music. You're not going to see them. Don't worry, I've been taking in all the Pumpkins anybody needs the past month or whatever. I went to see them in Nashville. They released a podcast, a 33-episode podcast that I've been listening to. But then my sister also turned me on to this Spotify podcast called Bandsplain. And it's this girl in California, and she's hilarious because she's so California. Like, she says, like, babe and stuff all the time, like the way she talks. But she basically digs in deep and just kind of talks with a guest about different bands. And so she did Smashing Pumpkins recently, but it was like a 2-part episode, each 3 hours long. And she basically went from like their founding all the way up to now. And so I'm like consuming all this like history. So Doolin, don't you worry. Like, I got the Pumpkins covered this month. I know everything there is to know about them now. Live.
Look at that little baby pumpkin. Cute. Yeah, so aside from the festival, I also went to see RuPaul's Drag Race live while I was in Vegas, and that was fucking hilarious. I laughed, I cried, I fucking danced, I don't know. It was fucking awesome. It was a great vacation. Literally have already booked a hotel to go next year and to see the festival next year.
Did you get tickets?
Yeah.
Really? Because I'm on a wait list. My sister put us on a wait list.
Oh my God. If I
they were
got
like
to go
sold
with
out.
you guys, it would be so much more fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sold.
We
tried to get VIP and it was like, nope. So we got general admission, and I'm just like, knowing what I know now, I'm like, VIP, worth it. It's a lot of money, but we don't know what we're going to do. We're probably going to wait until people start reselling their VIPs and try to get them then. But I don't think it's going to be like this year when people are selling them for wicked cheap because nobody knew what to expect. After everyone knows how awesome it was, it's going to be like crazy. And Blank is playing next year. It sold out within, I don't know, not even half a day. Sold out within like an hour. So, but yeah, get on that wait list because most likely they will probably just add another day if they can. Like they did this year. But yeah, hopefully you guys can come. That would be fucking rad. And yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to say. I have my little When We Were Young koozie.
Nice.
The merch was cool. Like, way too long to get merch in line though. Like, we actually got merch during Paramore's set because everyone was there. So we literally walked up to buy merch, but and like we still saw like most of Paramore's set because it took us like 2 seconds to buy merch, and then we just like walked back over there.
Is it like set up to where you might have to pick or choose like which band you want to see?
Yeah, there was some overlap for sure. Like we missed All American Rejects because they were directly when Avril Lavigne was playing.
Yeah.
And in case you guys forgot, we actually played with All American Rejects back in 2013 or 14.
Javi and Josh.
You guys weren't in the band, but we got to play with them. They're super great band and good people, and they were one of the first bands to announce like a private free show when Saturday got canceled. So like stand up dudes. But it was like I was like whatever. it would have been awesome to see them play like their songs, but I mean, I got to see Avril. She's like my queen. So,
oh yeah,
good call. I
yeah.
buy tickets when we could just play next year. Have the Nearly Deads on the bill.
Yeah, man, tell them.
do it.
Maybe.
We would love it because we grew up then, but technically the Nearly Deads sort of formed in 2011, so that was kind of past.
Yeah. I think we're too young. We're too young of a band to play a fest like that, but
Well,
all of those bands
there were like newer pop punk bands on it though.
Yeah, like Knocked Loose. Are they even pop
Yeah,
punk?
like Neck Deep and
Law
stuff.
Dispute, everyone's obsessed with.
Yeah.
The Linda Lindas are like 12 years old. They were so cute. They were the opening bands of the whole thing, and they're like 12 and 13-year-old girls. So cute.
That's crazy.
And we actually were like, hey, we really like them. So it was almost that Warped Tour feeling where you would go and you would discover your next favorite band. But all these bands we knew, except for a few, so you actually did end up being like, oh, wow. And almost every band has new music and new singles, and like they're all kind of capitalizing on this popularity of like the nostalgia of the time. So, and there was a lot of heavier bands there too that I had no interest in seeing. I hate to say it. Like, huh?
Jordan didn't drag you to them?
No, he's into the music that I am. So there was it was like Black Veil Brides, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Sleeping with Sirens, I Prevail, Dance Gavin Dance, State Champs, 4 Year Strong, which I know you guys would have probably been like, I got to see them.
Yeah, they're good.
But to me, those are more recent bands. I know they're not really. I know a lot of them have been around for a while, but they weren't like super meaningful to me. I don't know how else to put that. Like, I like those bands. It would have been cool to see them, but they were all playing when somebody else was playing. Like, I'm not going to go see XYZ band if Jimmy is playing at the same time. It's just not going to happen. Like, that band means more to me.
Those bands came out after I had sort of, my taste had changed and I wasn't really listening to that kind of heavy, screamy music.
Yeah.
For me, that phase was, for me, sophomore, junior year, so very early 2000s when it was like Norma Jean and Under Oath and that kind of stuff. And by the time these like Black Veils and Ice Nines, they all came out, I had moved on.
Yeah, from like the heavier stuff. You know, I think when it comes to heavy, it was like, oh man, Disturbed and Mudvayne and like that kind of new metal Korn. That was kind of what I was listening to like senior year.
Yeah, I still like heavy, but it's like, I want heavy like Deftones. I want the instruments to be
loved
heavy.
Deftones too.
I want to hear the vocal, and I want to be able to sing along.
Yeah, so when Screamo started happening, I was like, I don't know, I just wasn't really into it. So if y'all are ready to move on and have me stop talking for 5 seconds, can we please talk about thoughts and reflections on Blink reuniting?
I'm actually curious to hear what Josh thinks about their new single, Hedging.
Yeah. I will admit I listen to it pretty much every day. I do listen to it a lot.
So when I look at the Spotify numbers and it goes up by one every day, I know that it's Josh's.
Yeah. No, I was pretty damn excited, because it was one of those things that like they've been teasing for like a year. Like they would do something that would, and then the internet would just run wild, like Tom's coming back. And it would just be like they were releasing a new shirt or something. But yeah, then this time my one cousin, he texts me and he's like, dude, they completely wiped their social media. And it was like the day before. And it was
wait, they wiped their social media?
Yeah, that's why it seemed really fishy, because they wiped everything, like all like the
old pictures.
Yeah, and like the stuff with Skiba and stuff, like they put like up a new logo and everything. And sure enough, it was like because he was coming back or whatever. But I will admit, the first listen to the song, Okay, I'll put it this way. I mean, the song definitely grew on me. Like, I definitely think it's catchy and I enjoy listening to it. But as far as the album goes, I was just such a big fan of the mature, like when they hit their mature side. Like, I hope they don't try to replicate an Enema or Takeoff album,
I
when
don't.
they're these 40-year-olds,
I
like
think they're a little
I,
older than 40.
well, yeah, they're probably pushing 50. Yeah. But
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
just I loved like the self-titled and how mature and like interesting it was. And I loved Neighborhoods too. I know people kind of rip on that album, but because it was such a different sound, but like lyrically it was so mature. And I think that's with this new single, it's just like lyrically, I'm just like, okay, but it's catchy. But I am hoping the bar's a little higher for me with the actual album. But I got my tickets already. Like I'm super excited, like I'm definitely gonna go see them. But
Wait, your Blink tickets?
mhm.
Are they coming to Pittsburgh?
You bought
Yeah.
tickets, bro? How are you a
How
millionaire?
was it like
No, we got
300
them. We got them.
$300?
You don't need to tell us
I'm a
how much you
doctor,
paid.
didn't you know?
He is
No,
a doctor. He are you?
I'm not a
No, you're
doctor.
not. You're.
No,
Are you like
we
what's your title? Are you like an RNA or something? Like, do you have like
are RT.
an RT?
Yeah. I no, we got the I have their like email list. So me and my cousin, we like FaceTimed it at the same time because we got like 6 tickets for like we got like a group that's going and we did it for the pre-sale. So
Oh, that's really
it,
cool that you pre-sale for 6 people and 3 of them aren't us.
you guys aren't in Pittsburgh. I mean, I
We
guess you
could
could
come. Whatever, Josh.
They're
You weren't.
actually they're
Just teasing you.
there were
I'm just
exactly
teasing.
6
And
seats.
drama on air.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry guys. The Blink broke up the Nearly Dead. But anyway, no, we got them early, like before the outrageous, like the tickets we got. I mean, it still paid like 300, but now they're like in the thousands. I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
looked up and it was
Yeah.
like it started at like
9.
300.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I saw TikTok and then I went back and checked and it's like 1200. I'm like,
Yeah,
God damn.
yeah. So we
But
hit it right at the mark. It was literally the last 6 seats. Because we wanted like decent seats. We didn't want to be like on the floor, I want to actually like watch it, I guess, But yeah, so I definitely lucky enough. But I did the pre-sale. We had like the code, which was like "We are coming" was the code. Like, so yeah, it was.
It has brought a lot of funny memes and like videos and
Yeah.
How
And I've
expensive
really
the
been
tickets are
digging.
does too.
What's that?
Like the tickets being so expensive. I think there's a lot of memes about that.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's insane. And the thing is like it's I mean, it's just supply and demand, but also, I'm sure it's the whole Ticketmaster and different companies leveraging, sort of. I was just listening to something recently talking about Pearl Jam and their fight against Ticketmaster and stuff. It's like,
Well,
ridiculous. Like tickets shouldn't ever be like over
well,
$100 unless you're paying for like backstage meet and greets,
Yeah.
well, I was watching this guy that I subscribed to was talking about that, and he was saying that what they're trying to do is to cut out the scalpers. So, like, if somebody buys the tickets and they resell them for $1,200, they're trying to cut that guy out. And they're just like, well, that money should just go straight to the band instead of some other guy that buys the ticket and then resells them and gets the money.
There's like whole
nobody should be paying $1,200 for a ticket either way.
Yeah,
whether it's through a scalper or the website. Like
that is a tough justification. Like I don't know I mean, scalpers are terrible. I don't think that's the best way to go about it. I wish there was a better way because for the consumer, you're still paying $1,200 a ticket.
Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Let's go back to the old days where you had to physically go to the venue and buy a ticket and like tell people you can only buy 2 tickets per person. Because these there's whole crews of people that have these like bots that just wipe out whole, and they spend tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars buying out all the regular tickets and then putting them on StubHub or whatnot for like double, triple the price because they know people will pay it. It's really sad, but like they snatch up the tickets at the ticket at face value and then resell them.
Didn't Taylor Swift do something where she tried to combat that, like by basically
Yeah.
to like upload proof of owning a Taylor Swift record to be able to...
You had to have some sort of code or whatever. And like they have but this is a big issue, right? I'm kind of glad we're talking about this because it's like, I don't know. You're right. Like it should be a ticket. I mean, I don't know. I think 300 is like the maximum it should ever be, and that should be like front rows tickets to be like, you know, and everybody else should be able to get in for like $50. I don't know if you're in the nosebleeds. Like nobody should be paying thousands of dollars. Like it's whack.
No, I mean I get it for like a festival paying a few $100s because there's like.
Well, you're seeing like 30, 50 bands.
Yeah.
I don't even know, the When We Were Young tickets were like $200 or $300. Every single festival, it's like $300. Bonnaroo, whatever. You're seeing like a million bands. It costs a lot of money to put those on.
Like one band with a couple openers is too much.
And even like when would have been like 15 years ago, like when Blink toured with Tom the last time. Like I spent around the same amount. It was like close to $300, but it was like VIP. Like you got like a waiter. You got like, it was like an experience, you know?
Wait, you got a waiter? Like, let's hear about this experience.
I just paid the same price just for a seat. Well, no, I'm just saying the difference of like 15 years ago when you spent, that was like that was the VIP like price, you know? Like,
wait, did you actually do that though?
Yeah, it was a box seat. Yeah, exactly. When they first when they got back together, like back in 2010 or whenever they got back to 2009 or something, I got like the VIP tickets.
Josh, you're under arrest.
Check your Wi-Fi. Check your Wi-Fi, bro.
Why? Is it breaking up?
Yeah.
It says
breaking.
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
It says like a full.
It's not my internet. It's not me today. It's usually me.
Damn.
And the funny thing is I know.
I thought it was me. I was like...
But I thought you said Boston. I'm like, wait, did you pay $300 to go VIP to Boston concert, Josh?
What's the most y'all have ever spent going to a show, and who was it for? And we'll open up the chat on the Twitch because most people are here at Twitch. So if you guys want to join the party and use all the fun emojis, follow us on Twitch.
Why is YouTube dead tonight?
I don't know, man. Nobody gives a shit about us on YouTube, even though we have like 80,000 subscribers. It's so weird.
No one actually gets
I don't know how to engage you YouTube people, but it's not with this, clearly.
They all have the notifications off.
They're like, nobody does nobody does the notifications. And it's like, if you're going to watch a live stream, I feel like Twitch is just like the place.
That's
I kind of feel like we should just do these on Twitch from now on out, but we can talk about that.
Do y'all remember that MTV show where it would broadcast live bands, and it was called like the $2 bill tour or something like that, or show? And like basically the whole premise of the show was you pay $2 for a ticket and you go and you see a live band, and like Linkin Park was one of the acts, and like you paid $2 for a ticket, and like and they would broadcast it on MTV and stuff, and it was like,
that's rad.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That was the fucking heyday
for like HBO or something, you know.
That was like the heyday. Remember they had Hard Rock Live on MTV too?
I think I remember that. Yeah,
I went to a couple of those tapings because they taped them in Orlando Did you ever go to one of those, Steve, when you lived in Florida?
No.
I saw
I've
like
been to the Hard Rock and House of Blues in Florida, but
oh no, it was a House of Blues thing. Was it? Or was it a Hard Rock? I don't even remember, but I remember seeing Fall Out Boy and Hoobastank and maybe like one or two other bands on one of those. And when it was a taping, they had like film and they would like broadcast it. I don't think it was live though. I remember that $2 bill thing because I remember hearing the like $2 bill tour or something like that.
I'm right there with Spider. Basically, I think around 80 to 100 is probably the most I've ever spent on like a concert, and I think it was like seeing Muse.
MTV $2 bill concert. The Strokes. Who else did this?
Well, that's for like a single show. I've paid more for like a festival, but for just like a single show.
I went to, I think the most I've ever spent on a show was to see the Blink reunion tour. And I drove to Atlanta, Georgia. And I think I got kind of drunk. And I remember looking around and everybody, all the fans had bought Tom masks with the eyes.
I had one. Yeah.
With the eyes.
Nice.
With the eyes poked out. And so everywhere I went, I just saw fucking Tom DeLonge everywhere. And I was like, this is weird as fuck. But it was the coolest thing. And then I drove home that night and spilled gasoline on my leg. And so I had drove all the way back to Nashville with the smell of gasoline on my leg. I had to take my pants off and put them in the trunk.
Do you
So
think
I drove.
Tom had his alien friend
That's appropriate.
abduct the rest of the band to convince them to let him back in? You think that's how they got back together? He made a collect call to his buddies over on Saturn and was like, hey, can you come down here, give the rest of the band a enema, and can we get back in the band?
Well, Tom was he's always had an open gate to the band. I don't think they ever really wanted Skiba in the band. Like everybody wanted Tom, and he just didn't want to do it. What was the other thing?
Tommy spent $120 to see Kings of Leon, Linkin Park. Death Descent said the most he spent was a Rammstein concert. So, TJ, how much were your tickets?
Worth it. I think they were $150 to see Rammstein. It was 100% worth it. I didn't pay it though. Y'all know the story.
Right.
Somebody else committed me to that show, and I was like, I normally would not pay that much. I hate to say that. I mean, back in the day, I saw Billy Joel and Elton John, and my parents brought me, so I think those were probably the most expensive tickets. And we were literally on the nosebleeds, but it was like, well, what are you gonna do?
Right. Yeah.
I'd pay $150 to see Queen, maybe $200
With Adam Lambert.
No.
Or are you saying like in a world where there's Freddie Mercury still in the band?
Because I want to be in that. I want to be in a stadium where they have the "We Will Rock You" thing going on. You're like,
man,
fuck. That would be amazing.
Dude, speaking of that was like
it is like at a sports game when the whole like everybody starts doing it at like a football game. You know, people start clapping.
That's like the vibe at a festival though. Like,
but to have Freddie Mercury leading the charge, it'd be like.
But like speaking of that, having like fucking everybody singing like "Taste of Ink" with the Used at this festival, and people we were all singing "I'm With You" by Avril Lavigne. It was like this huge. Everyone was singing every word to every song, like for all of these bands. In A Day to Remember, y'all would have like loved. The amount of people that were just singing and just, it was emotional. So that's the same feeling. Like, that's why I feel like I like that. I like that shared experience with all these people, and you're all just like living your best life in that moment and just being like, wow, it's crazy. Like singing along with like 60,000 people that I don't know. And this one thing is like bringing us all together. So fucking rad. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that live music still exists in a capacity. I wish it was bigger. I wish it still like on the smaller scale was the same as it used to be.
Mm.
Like nowadays, live shows tend to be pretty much arena tours, bigger venues, and festivals. You don't see a lot of just kind of these like mid-tier
Yeah.
tours coming through.
Like Shirley Manson posted something about this the other day on her Facebook or something. And she's really outspoken about the business, about being a woman in the business. She's obviously the singer of Garbage. They've been a band for like a couple of decades now. They're legendary. And she basically was like, it's going to become like, there's not going to be any like new music. You're not going to find your favorite band or stumble upon them in a dark club somewhere. It's only going to be mainstream acts. And I don't know why she said it's something to do with the music industry and just the internet and just like nothing like
pretty much the internet. Like people don't, that's where everybody discovers what they like is on the internet. And that's how they consume their media now. So it's like you don't have to go out or do anything to discover. And
she might have been saying something about like society and like we're not valuing like the art of it all, and that's why like anything that's popular is just something that's really mainstream. Like the super quirky like weird art stuff like doesn't really go anywhere anymore.
It's pure quantity over quality these days. Not to say that there isn't quality out there. I just mean we're definitely in an age that's focused on quantity. It's like there's so many different streaming platforms. Every platform has a million different shows. Everything needs to be an expanded universe nowadays. Like it's just like, one type of somebody invents a sound. There's got to be 100 other people that
latch onto it. Well, the music industry like kind of collapsed with like streaming and didn't really like catch the boat on all of that. So that has a lot to do with it too, because they're all out there obviously trying to make money. That was what she was saying, is that like labels aren't investing in bands like they used to when they're like at a development stage. So then you'll never really get to know that band or their potential because they're just going with the sure thing. So that's why, that's what she was saying.
Well, they're adjusting their business model.
Yeah.
It's like those 90s bands during that time, the record labels could invest that kind of money because people were actually buying CDs. And so there was tons of money.
Yeah.
There was a lot of money to play around with and be like, oh yeah, we'll invest in that band. We'll invest in that band. Well, then once the money dries up, it's like, oh, well, we have to go where the money is. And, and 99, 2000s was the peak of the music industry as far as like money goes. Like that was the highest point.
Britney Spears, Blank.
Yeah. Yep.
They were so mainstream. I think remember that video when they're like, our label gave us like $300,000 or whatever. What was it? And they just gave it away? Or was it $100,000?
It was $500,000
in that video
to film the rock show.
Yeah.
And they
$500,000.
That would never happen.
And they just fucking
that is only going to happen for like Cardi B, and even
makes
then
me want to fucking shave my mustache off.
I don't know what art like think of major mainstream art. Think of Taylor Swift, Cardi B, because like that hip hop shit is way more successful than. I mean, I think Taylor Swift is like probably the most highest paid musician right now. But you're right next to her is going to be the rappers and stuff like that. And I'm like, they still put out videos and shit. Like, how much are they spending? Is it still that much money?
I don't know.
Probably like yes, but see, the thing is, like they're making money elsewhere, like
tours,
you know what I mean?
Because
like,
everyone's paying $500 to fucking see them.
'Fashion, like there was a time where like all Lil Wayne had to do was show up to a club and make an appearance for like 30 minutes or an hour, and he would get money just to show up to a club one night.
Yeah.
So like making appearances, fashion, like all kinds of other just weird stuff. And so yeah, I mean, if you're making money aside from the music, then it is worth it to spend the money on a dope music video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just music. It's pretty much right now every single creative outlet can't make a living on the art or the narrative anymore. It's all about like it's there, but you got to do all these other things to like make a living or a career with it. It's like it's like with all the Netflix stuff. It's like you put out the shows and you put a bunch of shows on, and you're probably not going to make money off your Netflix streaming show, but you get merchandising and people buy this shit, and that's how you make the money. Like video games now, they're like putting them out in subscription plans, or but so many games are free now. So it's like, how do you make the money? You put out all this DLC, season passes, people buy and nickel and dime those things. And so now with like bands, it's almost like, you can't just make money off the album. You can't just make an album, put it out there, and people pay for it. You gotta, merchandise. You've gotta be a personality on Twitch or something. You gotta do all these other things.
So I was gonna say that kind of goes back to like Shirley's point of like, whenever I hear you say that, I'm like, the main thing is like, it's so much harder to push through, even if you're like a super unique, interesting, artistic, crazy thing. It's so much harder for that to break through and become successful or have like a full-time career on it, because there's so many other facets to it now that you have to do and conquer and tackle. So it's not like some label could like pluck you out and some A&R person could be like, holy shit, I see potential in this. I don't know if that makes sense at all. It's harder to break through or break out now.
I feel like the band model is archaic.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't make sense anymore. It's like if you pay attention, like with the rappers and this and that, like it shifted from bands to individuals. And so now, because it's a lot easier to split the money one way than to pay like an entire band.
So basically, you guys are out. It's just me. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like,
that's literally,
it would be honestly, easier to market.
That's why Panic at the Disco is still like arenas now. I mean, I hate to say it, because it's really just Brendan. It's not really like a band thing. I feel like most of the people who know them nowadays are like Victorious and all that shit. They're not really in it for the emo days, and that's why they're not on this festival. They probably can't even afford to book them. Fall Out Boy is the same way. Fall Out Boy, I will say, has been the same four guys the same time the whole time. Mad respect for them as far as like bands from the emo, and My Chemical Romance now, but both of those bands literally had to hang it up for several years in order to keep doing it.
Well, another thing that's different, and I don't want to linger on the woe is us, we're old, time to change kind of topic, but
yeah.
Whoa, Steve.
But
you're under arrest.
I think the biggest change, and they were kind of talking about this on the Bandsplain podcast, is the environment's different because there's so many outlets now. Like back as late as the early 2000s, but especially like the 90s and earlier, people were told what to like. You found out about bands because of MTV and your local radio station and stuff like that. So you didn't really know about a good band unless MTV was pumping it out and they were saying, hey, you need to like this band. Here's a million videos, or your local radio station was spinning this artist. And so that's how people found out about stuff, and that's how they became big. So it was, as long as you could somehow get noticed and get into that pipeline, then you were geared up for success. But the problem now is there's YouTube, there's Spotify, there's Apple Music, there's Deezer, there's like our TuneCore digital distribution has like over 100 streaming outlets, and you don't need a label to do this anymore. Anybody can do it. Anybody. So there's like 100 different things that you can discover music on, and every one of those things has 1,000 artists on it, and there's only so much space on the homepage. You can't feature everybody, and the algorithms only work so well. So it's harder. There's no like kind of direct avenue for the cream of the crop to sort of get funneled through, unless you just still happen to be working, with the few labels or whatever that are pumping the money out to put you on the homepage of these top tier streaming outlets and stuff. So discoverability is just harder now.
Steve, I disagree.
Well, yeah.
Get our disagree emojis out, people. Get it. I mean, I'm siding with Javi on this. Like, I think it is going a little too like woe is me, because in case you forgot, like we have like 10 million views on one of our videos. I mean, there's a lot of local bands and like people who are just like never going to get that many. We were lucky to kind of hit that heyday of like internet viral YouTube where the algorithm wasn't what it is. It's always changing, but we are very blessed for like the internet.
Up with that statement. We were lucky. We got lucky. But even our success doesn't stack up to, the success that we're talking about.
Right. We're not like making a living off of it. We're not like mainstream. We're not on the radio. All of that. Yeah. Like
there's so many different factors to it though. It's like, okay, back in the day, there were a lot of gatekeepers and you had to jump through a bunch of hurdles to get your stuff heard, to get it pushed and back to whatever. However, the flip side to that is because there were so many hurdles and because there were so many filters, by the time it reached the stores and the customer went and paid money for a CD, those bands were fucking good.
Yeah.
You knew that those were good. Like when Avril Lavigne came out with her first single, that shit was a hit because to get to that point, it had to go through so many filters.
Yeah.
And so like
it was written with like a team of people. I'm a stan, y'all, so I know a lot. When she was like 16, 17,
nobody's going to put that kind of money
into a 16-year-old
behind somebody.
Yeah.
Unless
they have the goods.
Right. And so
what he's really saying is that we're all just not talented.
No. Right now, it's like
there's a lot of talented people out there, but that that stroke of X Factor personality plus the luck of just getting seen by that right person, right place, right time. There's a lot of different stars that need to align, and there's so much out there. I don't know where we're going.
Well, right now it's easy to get exposure, but guess what? All the filters are gone. So you don't have somebody that's saying, "Oh, you don't have a Jimmy Iovine that's saying, "Oh, your shit's ready."
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
So when we put something out there, we don't know if it's ready or not. And people will be like, they listen to it and they're like, "Nah, it's not ready." But we don't know that. And so like,
I don't think you're disagreeing. I think we're agreeing. I'm saying that, yes, to get stuff out there is easier now, but to get exposure is different. Like, yes, the hurdles of getting your music out to ears is easier because you didn't need to go through the pipeline. You don't need to go through the pipeline anymore and get that person or label or whatever money. But the difference, though, is, yes, it's easy for us to put it out there, but who are we putting it out there to? We're putting it out there, but is anybody actually listening?
Our beautiful fans are listening. We have a lot, in case you forgot. So, like, let's not discredit the people that are watching right now. Our super fans, y'all, we have our Patreon link right here on the stream. Like, God bless you guys for supporting us on Patreon. Like, if you aren't supporting us on Patreon, like, please
I'm not
consider
talking
it.
about us. I'm just talking about the.
You're talking about the general. I don't know what we're
Well,
talking about anymore. I think we need to switch gears.
This is a loaded question.
That's the other
topic.
I think
No,
we
that's
need
the
to
other
switch
thing
gears.
too.
Has
Is it
challenges? You know,
is it those
count.
Steve, those signed, a lot of the signed artists back in the day, they may have gotten like the hit on the radio, but then they got fucked over on the label.
There
and
was
then
a
they're
bunch
all
of people
broke.
who got signed that got dropped before they even released
Yeah.
music. Even
then-
mainstream people. Mainstream
And they
people.
all got fucked.
Like,
Not all of them.
do you
but
guys like
most of them.
Bonnie McKee? Do you follow Bonnie McKee? Do you know who she is?
No, who's she at?
She basically wrote with Avril, with Kesha, Katy Perry. She's co-wrote 1,000 hits, and she's
Okay.
like, yeah, I wrote that. She wrote Roar. She wrote all these huge hits.
I do follow her, yeah.
And
yeah.
she went on, she got her own record deal. She released her own single. It was called American Girl, yada, yada, yada. But she physically tried to get dropped because she was like, they're fucking me and they won't release my music. Same thing happened to Skylar Grey, who's Holly Brooke, who's like obviously wrote Love the Way You Lie, all these Eminem and Rihanna hits, the songwriters. So I love those women, but she put out like a TikTok the other day, was like, hey, I tried to get dropped my label because it was just like they won't let you release anything, which can be really a bad spot to be in. And we were in that same position with Standby, and I don't fucking care about talking about it because they're not listening, where it was like we couldn't do anything unless they okayed it. And then but that's not really that big of a deal, I guess, not being able to release something if they're not okay with it. But I mean, how many other like Throwing Gravities and like bands like that, they got actually signed by major labels that just got dropped before they even released their record. They were just like, you're not going to do it. And then it just like ruins their career. It just sets them so far back because they spent so much time and energy.
See, I would say I would look at, instead of looking at the glass half empty, you look at the glass half full and say like, look, the market may not agree with whatever we're trying to do, but guess what? There are so many other millions of artists that have gotten screwed over by the label. Like, at least we are in charge of our own career. We can do, put as much or little effort as we want.
Bobby, let me say this. Speaking,
who has a dog?
That's my dog.
Shut
up, Rose.
I did not know you had a dog. Okay, I'll just put that out
I
there.
forgot
Since
about
when the
it.
fuck is you have a dog?
I met the dog.
Here's my summary here. First of all, I wasn't talking about us. I was just talking about in general for artists. But to sum it up, every generation has its difficulties and trials, and they're just different each time. And so now it's like, yeah, we eliminated certain hurdles, but now there's new hurdles, and it's just about figuring it out and adapting and doing whatever, which we are currently trying to do because we have new music coming out. And I want to say a quick shout out to Dusek and Renowned Historian and YouTube, because we've got some YouTube action now.
You're the only ones watching us on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you so much.
YouTube, where my people at?
So let's pivot and let's segue into
Pumpkins.
Our new single, which is coming out on Monday. We're so gracious to you guys because of our Patreon, because of our fan support, because of every single view on YouTube, every single stream that you guys on wherever you stream music, all of that support from so many thousands and thousands of you guys that are out there. We can continue to do this, continue to do the thing that we love to do, write music that means something to us, write about what means something to us. So I can't wait for you guys to hear the song. It's coming out on Monday. If you're a member of the Patreon, I believe you've already heard the final version. Steve, is that right?
There's a link if you're a patron. There's a SoundCloud link that you can click on now, listen to it now.
The final version of it, right?
Yeah.
Like the fully produced, what's coming out streaming on Monday. You can hear it right now if you join the Patreon, and it's like $1 a month, right?
I think the page,
it's $3 or $5.
It's $5 a month to get all the content. You get everything for $5 a month, or you can just donate. You know,
Y'all, we're cutting ourselves short. You know, Blink selling tickets, in case you haven't heard, for $1,200.
Yeah, dude. So
A
$5.
subscription for $1.
What else? $5 a month.
Where are we at?
$5 a month. That's literally like one less latte.
you forgot though, Javi, that
That's
we are
How much
bar-
is $5 divided by 30 days?
That's how we market
5
ourselves.
divided by 30. For 16
Wait.
cents a day, you could sponsor a rock band.
16 cents a
For
day.
16 cents a day, you too could support a Javi in need and a Josh in need. So please consider joining, because if you join right now, you're going to hear the single right now if you don't want to wait until Monday. I'm just saying.
Well, and I'll also point out that then on Monday, everybody on the Patreon gets their free download of the track. But then we're doing this for every single leading up to album. Whenever we finish the single, it's going up on a SoundCloud for the patrons to listen to. And these singles are getting spaced out, you know, about 6 weeks in between. So you may... And even the full-length album, as those songs that aren't singles get finished, they're going on that SoundCloud link. So this new album we're working on is, you know, set to come out in spring next year. But if you're a patron, you might be able to listen to the album in January. You know, I don't know. Just depends on our recording.
And we do other cool stuff for the patrons. You know, we post like other stuff that we don't post anywhere, videos from the studio, pictures from the studio.
Yeah, so if you want to start early, that's the place to go. But if not, that's cool too. But the first one comes out on Halloween.
Oh my God, I'm so excited, you guys. Are you guys excited for the song, for people to hear it?
Oh yeah,
I'm excited.
I really am.
Like,
I feel like smashing this pumpkin.
You
I
won't.
don't know if anxious is the word. I just feel like I've been in, like, for the past month and a half at least, like, or 2 months, I've just been like nonstop in the studio, or if I'm not in the studio, like at home working on things and coordinating things, and it's been a lot of work, and so I just hope people like it is the thing. Like,
I thought the whole point was this album was that we didn't care if people liked it.
We like it.
We like it. See, Josh knows what I'm talking about. We literally sat down. We're like, let's just do us, man. Let's just do this for us.
I don't care what the industry.
We hope you guys like it, but we really don't care if you like it. No.
Steve's like, we're gonna have so much fun making this album. We're gonna do this because we love it, and we don't care what the world thinks. I hope they like it.
We're trolling you, man. We know what you
Oh,
mean.
Jesus.
We're trolling you. We hope that you guys love it. I mean, we do this with you. We do this for you. We can do this because of you. You know, otherwise we'd literally just be like fucking singing songs in our basement to no one. So, I mean, we definitely appreciate you guys. So, but spoiler alert, you're gonna fucking like it.
Don't you kind of
I mean,
agree that-
facts are facts.
Facts are facts, America.
Don't you kind of agree though that, like, when you say you don't care and you do something that's like more personal, you kind of almost care a little bit more because it's so personal? Like, you know, it's like
I would have agreed with you 10 years ago, but now I don't, because I'm older and more mature and wise, and now I truly, I don't know, maybe I never really did care, but like people keep telling us that we should, like the industry and like commercial and make money off of this, so make sure people like it, because if you don't, no one's gonna buy it.
No, I don't think I'm explaining this right.
Okay.
It's not like not that I care what industry thinks or whatever. It's not that I care if people don't like it. It's kind of like, I feel like, you know, it's sort of that feeling like if you buy somebody a gift that you just bought from the store.
Yeah, I would care if they like it.
And
Yeah. You don't
if
want to
they-
buy somebody a gift that's like fucking out of left field. They're like, thanks, an avocado.
No, I got to finish here.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
If you buy something from just like a store and you give it to them and they don't like it, it's like, that sucks or whatever. But if you like make something for somebody and they don't like it,
Yeah, that's
it almost like stings more because you like you're really thoughtful and you like put everything into it. And that's kind of how I feel here, where it's like no, I don't really care. We're doing this album because we want to, but the writing and the music is us. We're not writing this for like previous records. It's like, oh, we're writing specifically because we want this to be on radio or whatever. We said that, throw it out of the window. This we're just doing. This is us. We're doing it for fun. And so for me, it's like, yeah, I wrote this not really caring what people think, but because this music is more personal to me than others, I feel like it will sting a little bit more if people are like, nah, I don't like this. This sucks.
I got 2 points. First is like if you're like caring about what other people think about the music, that's like if you throw a party and you invite like 100 people and you're like, yeah, I know I invited 99 people, but I really care what this one person thinks. Like, what does that one person think about this party? Fuck the other 99 people. I don't really care. Like, what do you think about my party? Like, they're like, it's cool. It's like, and then you're just missing the other 99 people that showed up and like actually give a fuck about your party. That's one thing. And then the second thing is like, when I did the first Army album, like I put it out and I was like, oh man, like I hope people like it, you know. And it's gotten some cool things have happened because of it, but from this point going forward, I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to put something out and I want to make sure that I like it. I want to make sure that I like it first.
Yeah.
And like that's really all that matters to me, because you know, they may listen to it and go on and go eat some ice cream and watch some Seinfeld, but I'm the one that's going to go and listen and be like I'm going to pay the most attention to it. And so I want to make sure that I like it.
You should always be proud of it. And that's a conversation that we had, like, because I specifically remember telling you guys about like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck being like, let's fucking Good Will Hunting make the movie that if like as far as commercial success, whatever, they were like, we want it, even if this is just for us to sit on our shelf, we look at that thing and we're like, fuck yeah, we made that and we're proud of it. That was what we wanted to do with this album. Like, even if it just ends up on all of our fucking walls one day and just being like, man, I fucking did that. I'm so proud of it. This is what I wanted to say. This is how I wanted to represent myself. This is what I wanted to put into the universe. This is my legacy. This music that's going to live on beyond me. That's what we were going for. And I mean, it's easy to say, like, that's what that I know. And I know that's how you feel, Steve. I think we all know that.
Well, I just feel like
we obviously want people to like it as well, but I think that's like a bonus.
I feel like we're on the same page here. I'm not saying that I'm not proud of this. Of course, but you're asking somebody. We can all say, oh, we don't care what other people think, but we're human and we're not robots. So if you make something, even if you love what you made and you're so proud of it, and then you put it out there and somebody's like, dude, that's garbage, it's gonna like, you could be like still proud of it and glad you did it, but it's still gonna be like, oh man, that sucks.
Not if you're fucking proud of it. See, there's a difference between being proud of something and being fucking proud of something. Okay, if you're fucking proud of something, then it doesn't matter what the hell anybody.
Javi's going on mute.
You got the review of your track. You were proud of the track. It's constructive, but are you saying that you didn't care about any of the negative criticism? Like you were just like, whatever, it's fine because you're 100% on the track. Like,
no, but that was, but I said that, but I addressed that just a moment ago, where I said I put out an album, and that's something where I put it out prematurely because I wanted the feedback and I wanted, you know, I wanted to hear what people thought of it more so than
what
what
you
I
yeah.
what I cared about it.
Yeah.
And so and that's the result of it is, you know, somebody saying this or that. And I have two choices. I can either be like, oh man, screw you guys, like you don't know what you're talking about. Or I can be like, you know what? I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to learn how to better how to become better at my craft and where I need to work on certain things. You know, and that's just, I mean, we all have that choice. It's half empty, half full, glass, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's exclusive to one or another. I think you can be 100% proud of something and be completely ready to put it out there and be proud of it no matter what, but still have a human reaction to negative feedback. Like,
Josh, what say you on the topic?
What is Josh's
what is
thoughts
Josh's
right now?
thoughts on this topic? And then we need to move on because we have a lot more to talk about. Okay, guys.
You're under arrest.
I believe I'm under arrest. I believe that I think we definitely all were on the same page writing this album. And it's true, we wrote something that we all love, we're all proud of 100%. But I definitely get what Steve's saying. Like it's human nature that you'd want other people to like it, but you know, it doesn't mean that you don't love it, you know, still. You know, and everybody has their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Not everybody is going to love every single thing that you do, you know, so
wise.
there's also that.
You're so wise.
Yeah.
That's very true. You have to accept that when we started as a band and you do start getting negative critiques and feedback, because your whole life you keep getting like your family and friends being like, you're amazing, you're the best singer, you're the best, they're so in awe of your talent. And then you put it out into like the internet and all of a sudden like a million people have seen it. Yeah, there's going to be some people who don't like it. Developing that like choice to be like, well, am I going to take this critique of like whatever, let's say somebody says about us and run with it, or are you going to just be like, whatever, ignore them, it's just not their taste? I do think that there was probably moments where we took some of that a little too seriously. And to circle back to my queen, Avril Lavigne, she was very outspoken with like, and so was Pink. Very like, I'm not going to be Britney. I'm not going to be sexy. I'm not going to smile in my pictures. I'm not going to do this. And those are why those people, because they stuck to their shit and didn't be influenced by people around them. It's really easy to be influenced by people around you when you really care about pleasing people and being successful, because so many people tell you, you will be successful if you do this. We have been told that. We have tried following that path and it didn't make us happy. So that's what is going on this album. Do you guys agree with that?
Out with us.
Yeah, I wish my parents would have told me that I fucking sucked when I was a kid.
What's the oven mitt? What?
Because
why
if
is there
I
an
knew
oven mitt?
that, I would be like, you know what? This is some stuff I got to work on.
Be an accountant.
But instead, they were like, hey, you know, you're good. Whatever.
You are really good. So spoiler alert. Actually really talented, my friend.
There are times where I feel like, you know what?
I
feel like my issue is I had it too easy growing up. I was like, because
oh my God, he finally said it, you guys. Wow. Okay.
I never said I had a hard life. But I think, you know, when you think of like the great
Bye, Avenger. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Happy Halloween. Cheers.
When you think of the greatest art out there, you know, a lot of it comes from people who had like trauma and all these things, and it's just like it inspires their creativity or something, or pushes them. And I'm just like, man, did I need to be abused or something? Would that have helped my writing? Or like, I don't know.
Hey, Steve, on a real note though, I'm listening to a podcast on Spotify called A History of Rock and Roll, and it starts from like 1938, and the guy's doing like 500 songs that shaped rock and roll. And dude, the more like,
what number are we?
we're like 8,000,000
Right.
500,000.
I think we're the 501. I think we're
That's it.
honorable
But-
mention.
We just got.
We'll be talked about here in about maybe 800
10,000 more years.
Um,
Remember that band that used to just get drunk and talk shit on their live streams about how hard it is to be a band?
no, but every episode is a song that shaped rock and roll. And when I listen to the stories of these artists, it's like, dude, they had some really shitty lives, shitty lives. And their songs went on to do great wonders and sell millions, this and that and that. But it's the classic story where the label fucks them over and they end up either like shooting themselves or some crazy shit where it's like, wow, like these artists really, really had it bad, to the point where like they were doing side jobs because they couldn't make enough money to feed themselves. And it's like,
well, even before I'm saying a lot of the trauma just inspires that first song or whatever that gets them big. But I think in rock, especially, rock and punk and stuff, I think it gets harder and harder to write the older you get, because it's harder to write angsty and like when you're younger, you've got these things, you think you're tackling the world, you've got all these quote unquote problems, and you're like feeding off of that in your writing. And then it's like the older you get and you're more settled and comfortable, it's like, what angst are you going to write about now that mortgage rates are through the roof and like nobody wants to listen to a song about that? They
Well,
want to hear a rock song about drugs.
I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna
fuel that though.
I'm gonna throw up the disagree, because one of the best bands I saw was Jimmy Eat World this weekend, and they've been around for a long time. They're heavily interested. They're heavily influenced by Bruce Springsteen, and they were just, I don't know, man. Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen. It's not like it doesn't always have to be angsty, super struggly. Like, you just sing about, if you're just singing about what you know and you're authentic, that is the key. Like,
right, for
manufacturing some sort of angst when you never had any is not, everyone's gonna fucking see right through it. And not all music has to be angsty, because a lot of their music is really hopeful. So
it doesn't necessarily need to be angsty, but it's really hard to name a band that the music they're putting out 20 years into their career stacks up to the music they put out in that first decade.
Yeah.
It's just something about, like, I feel like once you're older and more settled in your life and things are going smoothly, I feel like the inspiration of like topics or like that, I don't know, just something happens. Like, I mean, there's artists that are still putting out good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. There's a reason that, like, and I'm not that person that's like the old stuff is better, because a lot of artists that I listen to, I like a lot of their newer records better than their first couple. I just mean the artists that are around for like 20 and 30 years, the stuff they're putting out at the end of their career, it just doesn't hit like the stuff when they were in.
Oh my God, who is that? Where's Javier? So let's move on. We've talked about the new single. It's coming out on Monday. Just so you guys know, on Monday we're going to be doing a giveaway. You can win a signed, individually drawn set of lyrics to the new single from me. We're going to be doing a social media contest, so stay tuned for details on that. And it's going to be featured in Outburn magazine, so thank you to them for partnering with us on this release. We're super stoked for that and excited. And
video out on YouTube.
There's going to be a lyric video coming out on YouTube as well. So thank you guys for subbing to us on YouTube. Thank you also to Biohazard for the bits on Twitch. We really appreciate you. Also says the song could just be you farting in the mic and I'll still like it.
Yeah.
And I love
Hilarious.
that. We've had that before. We've had somebody said something about me farting the phone book and something still liking it. I don't know. But I appreciate that. I do, because it's like, what makes somebody say that? I don't really get it, but
Funny though.
Oh.
Art's so funny.
we work really hard. We work really hard. We love what we do. We rehearse, we write, we hem and haw over every little detail for you guys, and it's finally coming to fruition. We have been talking about this and working on this and obsessing over every detail and every word and syllable. At least I have for over a year, and just it's finally out, and it feels very surreal, and we're grateful to be doing this. How are you guys feeling about the release on Monday?
I think we're not giving the audience what they want. What they want is a song where we just fart in the mic.
Yeah.
And we're not listening to the marketplace.
Oh my God. I mean, if that's
we're
what
driving ourselves
if
crazy.
that's what the people
here.
want. But the thing is, if you see, here's where I like what I love about artists is like, if you keep giving the people just what they want, it ends up like, then they don't want it. I think what they really want is for you to reinvent yourself every time. And that makes for good art and thinking and, you know.
Well, that's one school of people. And then there's the other school of people that want the same.
More of the same.
Yeah.
But
they just want you, they want you to make good fart.
But let's start with Josh.
Art versus fart.
Yeah.
Josh, tell us about how you're feeling about the release, being that, you know, Josh was the first to finish all of his stuff, and you've been done, so you're just kind of Josh is just
coasting.
I forgot about the
coasting, dude.
Just
he's in 2026 right now.
You're the furthest removed from this album, so how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, so actually that's a really good thing, because even because I had just heard the final like master of the first single just like a week ago, was it? And that's really the first time I've heard really anything besides the drums, and that's for pretty much every song besides like the initial demos and stuff. So I'm super excited. It's kind of like like I don't know how, I feel like a fan excited, like I haven't heard it before, you know, because I haven't really heard it. Like I've only heard it well now. I can whenever I want, but you know, no, I'm super excited. I like, for me, since I finished the drums so long ago, it's kind of like re-listening, like rehearing them all over again, brand new, and in this new heavy hitting format that Brian so kindly put together for us. And yeah, I'm just super excited. I think the fans are gonna love it, and if they don't, then
fuck them.
I love it. But no, I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be killer for Halloween.
Who else releases songs on a Monday? Just us, because we have no label. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Or we have our own label. I want to make a label. I think we should have our own label. What do you guys think?
It should be called Monday Mabel.
Ass.
Where you just release songs on
Fart Records.
Yeah, Mike Fart Records.
What?
Where you just release singles on Mondays.
I thought Mike like the name Mike, and I'm like, what does that have to do? Took
well,
me a second.
What do you say?
More
Mike Records.
Phone.
It's just a Mike guy named Mike.
A guy.
Well, he said Mike Fart, and I was like, who's
Mike Records?
Should be called I Am Mike Records. Like, who is I Am? Who is Mike? And it's just Mike Fart. Well, the acronym should be FART. Like fully authentic recording.
That was good.
That was good.
That was like
recording.
Words that start with T.
True.
T-Rex.
Fully authentic, real truth.
Oh God.
Art.
Dumb. God. God, sorry. Okay, you guys, the few people that we have watching us right now across streaming platforms.
We can all debate on the T.
Yeah.
Everything else is.
You like everything else?
Yeah.
Fully authentic, recorded.
We could just call it Fully Authentic Records. I like that. Far.
Whoa, man, you've gone too
T
far.
is silent but deadly.
The T is silent.
We call it Fart Records, right? And it's Fully Authentic Records, and the T is silent but deadly.
Well, Tommy said tunes or tones. That makes a lot.
That's good. I like that.
Fully authentic recorded tunes.
Tunes.
No,
It's a fart within a fart.
no, the fully authentic recordings, and the T is silent.
Pee my pants.
But deadly. That's classic. Classic. Classic.
Classic farts. Classic nearly deads. The fully authentic recorded toots.
The toots.
Oh man.
Just toots like the chicken finger place in Nashville. Oh my god, I have to pee. I'm just gonna go do so. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Tommy
I'm gonna
Toots.
pee my pants.
Man.
Yep.
On, we can have a real conversation.
Well.
Well,
The trifecta
Yep.
is back.
Mm-hmm.
hey, anything we can argue about?
Nope. We're on agreement.
Yeah. So, Halloween, you guys doing anything? And if
Yeah.
Sunday or Monday?
I may go to John's party.
John's party? Like John Joe?
Yeah, he's having some kind. Well, I don't know if it's his party, but they're doing some kind of movie night. I may go check it out. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe bring some wine. Just drink straight out of the bottle.
I remember doing that on tour one time.
Cat call some.
You got to put it in a can, though, so you can still gesture when you talk, but you won't spill it.
Just
What is that?
a full bottle.
Yeah,
Fine.
just have the full bottle.
That's true.
Hold
Yeah,
the
you
base.
dressing up, you trick-or-treating, going to
No, I unfortunately I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm off on Halloween, but then I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm just gonna like chill, promote the single, and probably watch like scary movies by myself.
Yeah, I need to
Get real scared.
the new, watching the new Hellraiser.
Scared.
But then I was watching it while my girlfriend was putting her kid to bed, and she doesn't like scary movies. And then she came back in, and so I had to stop it.
Oh.
It looks okay. I mean, it was okay so far. I mean, not like groundbreaking, but Hellraiser was always one of those fun kind of like, it's just sort of more gross than it is scary, you know. Just, the Xenobites are creepy and.
Yeah, I just went to go see Terrifier 2 with Cody a couple of nights ago, and it honestly was actually pretty good. I mean, it's like an acquired taste, you know, like it's a brutal horror movie, but it actually had like a story. I don't know if you ever saw the first one.
I don't think so.
Hi guys,
No,
I'm back.
like a
What did I miss?
slasher flick, but
Bunch of nothingness.
Halloween. announcement.
Oh, we've moved on to Halloween now.
Well, just while you were in the bathroom, we were trying to think of things to talk about.
Anybody seen the Netflix Dahmer series?
Yo,
I didn't
yes.
watch that.
Fucked up.
It made my stomach turn. It was gross. Why are
Crazy.
what is the fascination with this shit? Does it worry you guys that like society is so fascinated with this shit?
No, because nobody's ever done it. It's like if somebody climbs Mount Everest and be like, "Oh shit, what was it like?" You know what I mean? Like nobody's nobody that you know has ever done shit like that. It's like, that whole fucking
Yeah.
I don't
Seven-
think it's the same, man, because a lot of people climb Mount Everest every year. Like hundreds of people do
let
it.
me finish. The 7 degree of connection, like I know somebody that knows somebody that, that doesn't apply to this. That's why we're so fascinated about it. It's like I don't know anybody that knows anybody that knows anybody that knows anybody that knows anybody that has ever done anything like that. What's that like, man? Like, what the fuck? Like that's the curiosity. I mean, unless you guys are not curious about it, but why are you watching the Netflix specials?
I was in college, and I'm still curious. For me, it's more of
You
a like
sick bastard.
what does
What
it
went
take
wrong?
a person to
Yeah.
What makes a person either do that or be like, how could you ever do that? It's so fucked up. It's gross.
Yeah, I can't even watch my dad clean a fish. Like, we've gone fishing.
Ew. Yeah.
Like, I can't.
The fish scene was very sexual. It was gross.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like doing that. Yeah, so my curiosity is more of the psychological aspect, but I don't understand the people that listen to multiple podcasts and they just like listen to it every day, because that just depresses me. Because it kind of makes me sad that these people actually exist. It's sad that anybody would want to hurt somebody else like that,
Yeah, and I think it's clear that they're not like, he was obviously troubled, and sick. Like it's it's just sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I the horrors and stuff I'm into, I'm into like the obviously fake shit, because I'm like, okay, yeah, like the ghost and the monster.
Ghosts are real.
Oh, did you think that they did? What do y'all think? I heard that they're gonna make another Saw movie.
Oh yeah, Saw 10.
Kill it.
And the original guy who died in the third Saw movie is coming back. So
I can't keep track.
If anyone's a fan, please defend this choice. I feel like I literally looked at the thing on Facebook. It was like Saw movie with the same guy, and I was like Saw 10 or whatever. I was like, stop trying to be like Freddy or Halloween. It's not gonna happen. Like, stop trying to make fetch happen. Like, you're not the same. But maybe I'm wrong. Do people like really love Saw? Like, are they're trying to make Jigsaw like the same thing as like Michael Myers or Freddy or Jason?
No. See, I was only a fan of the first Saw
or Frankenstein.
I like the first.
I always thought the first one was the only one worth fucking watching. The second one blew, and it was like gory slasher cheesy.
It would be different if Jigsaw was actually committing the murders and stuff, but it's like, it's not. He's just a symbol for the other stuff. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
And then they just become like cheesy slashers, which I don't know. Like, I haven't seen every single Jason or every single Steve. We lost you. Go ahead.
Me? You lost me?
Yeah, I thought you were saying something, but I couldn't hear it. So.
Oh, I was just saying that World Renown agrees with you that the first Saw was good, the rest are trash. I think the second was decent, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't like the first Saw.
I like the twist of the second one.
The first one was like,
yeah, the first one was good.
The Sixth Sense.
You know what? Remember that movie Escape Room?
No.
I know of it. I never watched it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it.
I thought it was pretty good. We actually saw it in the theaters because it reminds me of Saw. Like, what is Saw, the original, but like an escape room scenario, but it's like real. Right. So that's the escape room. Like, they think they're all in for this game. So if that franchise were to expand, which it might already be, I'm not really sure, I could kind of see it. Because I don't know.
But the thing is, I'm over the franchises. I'm over franchising.
We want new monsters, new horror, new stories.
Yeah, we just live in an age of remakes and reboots and all this and sequels. It's just like, have an original idea, have an original thought.
But there's no money in it. It goes on to the mainstream. Let's circle back to the mainstream music argument. It goes to film and everything, where they're like the sure thing, the franchise, the nostalgia.
So the record labels
Yeah, so the music, so the movie, what are the movie places called? Studios.
Blockbuster.
Studios like Fox or
Uh-uh.
Warner, called
Movie
studios,
gallery.
the big studios. Let's see. Doolin, I'm reading some of the chat. Doolin basically said it was going to be called Saw Furious, and that made me think of Saw Tokyo Drift.
My God.
And
Fast and the Furious. Oh my God.
Saw
Oh
Tokyo.
my
you know,
God.
people love those
Hey,
movies.
World Renowned said Escape Room was a David Fincher film. Maybe
Was it really? Is that maybe why I loved it?
no. You must.
I don't
we
think
must
it
be
was.
talking about a remake. Then he said Kristen Stewart.
You're thinking of Panic Room, bro.
Oh, Panic Room. Yeah. Yeah. I was
Great
like-
movie. Great movie.
Like Kristen Stewart wasn't in an Escape Room. Yeah.
Isn't
No,
Jodie
Escape-
Foster in that
Jodie
movie?
Foster's in Panic Room.
Round.
That was a David Fincher movie.
When she was younger. Is that ageist?
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Talk about horror movies. Well, we got off track when you went to the bathroom. So we talked about the single, but are we talking about the album?
Are we gonna name the record Far Records? Because I think that's super cute.
Far Records?
Our records. The T is silent, Steve.
It's already been named.
What has it been named?
The album.
Toby Records.
Oh, the album.
No, the label. The label, Steve.
We're talking about the
Yeah,
The
label.
label.
We talked about the single. I was like, are we going to talk about the new album?
No, we're gonna wait for the press release.
Okay.
Right?
There's
Is
a new
that
album.
in the press release?
Yeah.
Then we're gonna wait till Monday. On Monday, you're gonna find out our big secret plans.
That's it more.
I'm pretty sure we already told everybody what the name of the album was like 2 streams ago, but
It's called We
They
Far.
forgot.
we fart. We
The
fart.
T is
It's called We Fart.
We Fart.
Oh, yeah.
Is it time to stop the stream?
We put in 2 hours here.
I think
Well,
we're done.
We were a little late this time.
Well, we talked about everything. Let's do a rapid fire round.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
Josh.
What are you asking him, Javi?
Yeah, what are you asking me, officer?
That was the question. Josh.
No.
All right. Let's do it. Favorite movie that you watch every Halloween. Javi, go.
Yes.
Steve.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Steve, favorite movie you watch on Halloween. Go.
Every Halloween?
Man.
I don't know. A zombie movie. I usually watch something
A zombie movie. Okay, Josh, go.
like that.
I'm gonna say like Beetlejuice.
Nice. All right,
Never
mine's gonna
seen it.
be Hocus Pocus. Okay.
It's a good one.
Favorite Halloween candy. Javi, go. You got that big ass bag of candy, you dump it out, and you're a kid. What do you fucking sift to the side? And you're on your bedroom floor, right? What goes to the side that you're like, meh, and then what do you eat first? Go.
Reese's.
Reese's. Steve.
Yeah.
Hello? Your
You're
microphone's off.
What?
Huh? I think you-
Audio.
Steve, go.
Said Reese's.
Okay, Josh, go.
Reese's.
Ah,
God,
yes.
mine's Milk Duds.
Yes.
Sorry. Milk Duds.
Lame.
Okay, what is when you, kid, adult, whatnot, what's your favorite costume you've ever worn? Javi, go.
I was a toilet paper roll disguised as a zombie
What? For real? When?
Funny.
when I was a kid, and my parents couldn't afford shit, so they.
So you were a zombie toilet paper roll? I feel like Mummy makes more sense as a toilet paper roll, but please elaborate.
Yeah, mummy. That was it.
You were a mummy
They
toilet.
didn't know what I was. They just kind of
They just
rolled
put
me
some
up in
toilet paper
something,
on you, and they were like, "You're a mummy zombie."
threw some blood on me. They said whatever that is, and they drew out like a goatee, like I don't know.
Can you find a picture
what-
of this for us, please?
You're a zombie.
Yeah,
toilet paper
absolutely.
roll with goatee.
We had some good answers in the chat. Dano and YouTube said Trick or Treat for their movie. That's a good movie.
That's good.
I've never seen it. I do want to see it because
Never seen it.
my sister really likes it. She has a little character from Trick or Treat all over. We got Spider One says Reese's Cups, and world-renowned historian says Boston baked beans is their favorite candy, and I'm concerned.
Never tasted that.
I mean, they're not bad, I guess, because they're like this crunch. They like candy-coated peanuts, I think. Like they have kind of a burny taste.
I've heard of Bush's baked beans.
But you know
Those
what?
aren't candy.
You know what's okay. You know what I used to always be like, meh, because somebody did mention circus peanuts. What's that taffy like that comes in the orange and black wrappers that you get from the dollar store? That like gross, like I think it's peanut butter flavored taffy or nougat, or maybe it's just nougat. That's just nasty.
Yeah, I don't know.
That shit is gross, and I don't like Good and Plenty or any like black licorice.
Blech.
Blech.
Black licorice sucks. People that eat black licorice are
That was like
of
my
the
dad.
devil.
That was like my dad's favorite candy for some reason. Like
Dude,
when I was
I
a
don't
kid, I
understand.
always remember he was like black licorice. He would buy big ass bags
I
of it.
can't. I can't. I can't.
I would always eat the black jelly beans out of the.
Steve ate black jelly beans. Gross.
Oh, I did.
What a weirdo.
I like them too. Yeah.
Shun.
That's black licorice flavor.
Yeah. I like
Weird.
I like the jelly bean.
Who y'all are? Boston baked beans, Werther's, and Mary Jane's? Is everybody on this stream like 60? Who's eating this? What's a Mary Jane? No, I'm just teasing you guys. We love you guys. Wait, favorite costume? Favorite costume was Javi's a mummy in toilet paper. Super cute. I think your parents were super cute, and I could totally see them doing that. They'd be, Mijo, come here. I have the toilet paper.
They're super broke. They were like,
all of our parents were broke. My mom used to make my costumes, and I would wear the same costume for like 5 years in a row. They'd be like, "This is your costume. You're a Dalmatian this year, next year, and the year after that."
One time I was a monster. And for the monster, it was a fucking large brown paper bag with an M written on it. Fuck me. Like, I remember.
I love it. Man. That's awesome.
It was a grocery bag, a paper bag. Like,
and they put M on it. Oh my god!
They just put the M on it. It's like, you're a monster.
I respect her. See, you know, kids today can never. There's too much social pressure to not. But back when we were all kids, I feel like it was that. It was like, here's a couple paper plates and you're a robot. Like everybody made their costumes. That was part of the fun.
I want to see that actually.
I refuse to, as an adult, buy a the Halloween store, Walmart, thing.
Oh, I've already dressed Eli up in a pumpkin and dinosaur.
Kid for probably.
Ew.
I was either a.
That's the Mary Janes. You're right. Those are gross.
I don't see.
Ew. It's taffy.
Gross.
Sorry, guys.
At least it's not people that eat black licorice.
Black licorice, jelly beans.
I would eat.
I love them, man.
I like jelly beans.
This looks gross. It's like a Tootsie Roll that doesn't taste good.
It's like
but like
Tootsie Roll that's
like a nasty, bland Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
So my parents would have.
Oh, I've had those.
Yeah, I would have that over black licorice. Done.
Yeah.
I would be like, give me a bag of these. I'll be sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
I'll
Josh.
be cool with that. Can't do the black licorice.
Oh my god. Necco wafers are good.
Are
we all talking about gross candy now? This should have been the whole stream.
Right.
Let's
I'd rather get slapped in the face.
I'm gonna circle back to the
licorice.
chat. Keep posting nasty candy. Steve, your favorite Halloween costume of all time that you've dressed up as?
I would say it's probably in my adult life when I took it seriously and was like cosplaying Halloween. I think I liked doing Colin from What We Do in the Shadows, And then another year, I was the dude.
Yep.
And that was
Nice.
fun.
Josh, favorite
you have
costume?
Steve, did you have a big wig?
Yeah, I did. I had a robe and
And the White Russian?
yeah, I was drinking White Russian the whole time. It was nice.
Man.
Josh, favorite costume?
I'll probably, because my mom made all my costumes, and she'd kind of like go all out, and she made me my own Superman costume, and it was just really good. I just loved it. Like I would just wear it every day all year round. So I would say that was probably my favorite. Yeah.
Ew. This is the thing. This is the gross.
Oh yeah.
Look at it.
Mm, yeah.
Look at that. Oh, gross.
Look at it.
Yeah,
Ew.
I mean, when you were
That's the wrapper, and that's like the nougat. What is
she
this?
just said, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Ew. Here's another one showing it. What kind of taffy is that? It's like, it looks like a piece of chewed gum.
Dude, I'll get down on some taffy. I just can't do the black licorice.
Good.
My favorite costume, I was roadkill when I was in college, and it was a homemade costume. I bought like an ear and tails, and I was like, this isn't cute enough, so I did like a tire tracks on my shirt, and I had blood and shit everywhere, and I was roadkill. That's probably my favorite costume.
That's Roku.
That was my three things: favorite candy, costume, and favorite Halloween movie.
Well, that's sweet.
What are you guys saying? Okay. Favorite costume was when I dressed up like a Bionicle. Hershey's Kisses,
Barnacle.
but the cookies and creams one, yum. I like candy corn.
Ugh.
Especially the ones that look like pumpkins.
Yeah, the pumpkins ones are pretty good.
People that eat candy corns are worse than people that eat black licorice.
What about somebody who eats black
candy
licorice?
corn?
It just
They're so nasty.
The lime flavored green ones are pretty good. They're like,
ugh.
I've never had.
Terrible.
I can eat candy corn, but like not a lot of it. Like
it's
maybe just like
just
one or
sugar. I think it's like it tastes like honey, kind of, and it's just got the right texture. So good, yum.
I'd rather eat a live pumpkin.
According to Lewis Black, they made candy corn back in the 60s. And after each Halloween, they throw it in the dumpster, and then somebody comes and collects it.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, this is so good.
Listen, okay, so we have Kit Kats as a favorite, Werther's as a favorite.
Werther's is no good. It's just there.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Ow! Did you guys hear that? That was my crazy husband. Do you like black licorice?
No.
He said no. Do you like?
Ask him if he likes candy corn.
Do you like candy corn?
No, it's scum of the earth.
Fuck exactly.
Okay, let's say it's a choice.
Exactly.
Okay, so I love candy corn. So like between black licorice and candy corn, I would pick candy corn. But if you had to pick, what would you pick?
God, I would hate myself, but I would have to pick candy corn.
Now, if you were gonna pick black licorice or the nasty orange and black taffy gross things, then what would you pick?
Taffy.
Oh.
The black, I can't do it. Okay, like
You just can't do black licorice?
I can do Jaeger. Jaeger's cool
Jaeger
because
tastes
it's
like
a
black
drink.
licorice. Tastes like
It
black.
tastes like
It's
black
a drink,
licorice.
and it gets you drunk, and it goes down, and you're like, fuck it, and you can bear it. But to have to eat it and chew it, it's like, that's disgusting.
Especially the jelly beans. Yeah, it's the best.
Is it really Wednesday?
It's like, I can't. Okay, black licorice is
Yes, go.
crap. I would rather do candy corn. But people that eat candy corn over black licorice are terrible people.
We should have had. What? People that eat candy corn instead of black licorice are terrible?
Oh, you heard that? That was meant for Josh.
Well, I eat both.
Well then,
Wait,
I'm
who's
fucked.
is anybody in the chat that's not from the United States? Can we talk about that? Because I feel like some of you guys might not be from the US, and I want to hear like what your traditions are for Halloween. Is this like a weird American thing, or does everybody kind of trick or treat and eat candy? Like, I don't know.
That's interesting.
I want to
actually.
know. And like, if you guys, I feel like candy is always better in Europe and other countries anyway, because you have so many more rules about like what qualifies as food than we do. Like that the chocolate is different, your Hershey's tastes different, your Coca-Cola tastes different because you don't have the refined sugar. It's all more natural and like doesn't have a lot of preservatives and things like that. So I honestly want to know, what do you guys do for Halloween? Dino's from the UK. What do you do for Halloween? Do you celebrate Halloween? Is it you celebrate it because it's an American thing? Isn't it only an American thing because we kind of stole it from like Day of the Dead? Or does it have something to do with harvest and like didn't it used to be the New Year? I feel like I learned this in like a documentary when I was in Salem. All Hallows Eve, it was like a harvest thing. It was like it used to be the end of the calendar year. It was like it used to be this weird thing. We could talk about this all day.
Isn't Germany like more like Oktoberfest and like
Yeah.
they have like a different celebration
Yeah.
than the whole like quote unquote Halloween
Yeah.
thing.
Like, yeah, it's pretty fascinating how it became what it is today. But I feel like I saw in some documentary that October 31st used to be the end of the year. And then when Julius Caesar was in power, he added July and August for Augustus to the calendar, adding 2 more months to our 10-month year. And October was really like New Year's Eve. So Halloween was like, I don't know.
All I know is that when the time jump happened and Rhaenyra became queen in House of Dragons, I was just like, fuck, man. You guys are losing me, man. Like I'm trying to catch up here.
All I know is to wrap it up, but what I'm thinking is for our next streams, we should probably start at 8.
Because there's more people watching, or why?
People tend to pop off on this second hour, so I think if we just start later next time and do like a 8 to 10 rather than a 7 to 9.
Well, maybe because daylight savings is coming here. Do y'all do daylight savings in the UK? I feel like that's a no. That must fuck you guys up. I get fucked up even having family in Arizona because they don't do it. And I'm just like, am I 3 hours behind or 2 hours behind or what's happening? Like, I don't know. California's on different time. Like,
I feel like they do like daylight spending, you know, where they just kind of are like, we don't care.
see, Dino says it's 2 a.m. in the UK. And I'm like, if we do an 8 to 10 stream, they're going to be watching us until 3 in the morning. And it's a really bad idea. I didn't hear anything as Steve. Sorry.
I said I think Javi's the drunkest here, and he hasn't had a single drink. He's just drunk right now.
He's on duty. He can't drink right now.
Hey, wrap up.
Steve, you're under arrest.
Okay, so from Germany, Halloween is not that big, but it's getting more and more popular and kids are going more out. And then in the UK, kids get candy and sweets. Most families take their youngest trick or treating.
Soul Queef always popping in last moment. Well, if y'all want to keep going, that's cool. I'm gonna go make a sandwich and I'll come right back.
No. We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We love doing this stream with you guys. Please consider supporting us on Patreon. You guys help us continue to do what we love. And have a happy Halloween. If you guys are celebrating this weekend, please do so responsibly. Be safe. Have a good time. Smash some fucking pumpkins. Throw some eggs. Somebody earlier was like, why do people do that? I have no fucking idea, but I'm sure if we Google it, we can find out. And I will put the answer in the Discord chat.
It might be vandalism.
Monday, clear your schedule because you're going to be playing our new single on repeat all day. And I expect nothing less from you guys to be sharing it, liking it, posting it, telling the world about our new single because you guys love us and we need more people to spread the word for us. I hope you guys really love the new song. I'm going to be doing a giveaway as well that day. It's going to be a social giveaway for a set of lyrics from me and I don't know, maybe some sort of signed picture, something else, whatever you guys want. So anything else to add? Anybody?
Happy Halloween. Trick or treat.
Happy Halloween. Zip it up and zip it out.
Zippity-doo-dah. Bye. Everybody say bye. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We love you guys.